election contribution in the name of another 2 or more times, a third-degree felony punished by up to 5 years, and harassment by use of personal identification information, a first-degree misdemeanor punished by up to 1 year.
Yes, I do.
By entering pleas to these 2 charges, do you understand that you're giving up the following rights, all with the assistance of your attorney? The right to, with Mr. Walker's help, further investigate the charges against you.
Yes.
The right to file any appropriate pretrial motions.
Yes.
The right to have a jury trial where the state proves your guilt on every element beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
And the right to present legal defenses that you might have.
Yes.
Are you satisfied with the representation provided by Mr. Walker?
Yes,
Do you suffer from physical or mental illness, disability, or handicap?
No, I do not.
Is there anything that impairs your ability to think clearly and make this important decision to plead today?
There was not.
Are you entering this plea and receiving the announced sentence because you think that this is the best way to resolve this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened you or promised you anything to get you to do this?
No.
All right. I find that your plea is freely and voluntarily made and that there is a factual basis to support it. In a moment, you will have the opportunity for allocution, but you will have 30 days to appeal anything illegal about the following sentence. If you cannot afford a lawyer to represent you on appeal, I'll appoint one. All right? If you want to go ahead and before sentencing.
That would be fine, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to read my statement as I want to ensure I get it right. I can assure the court I wrote this entirely myself. To Lourdes Ramirez, the citizens of Sarasota County, to this court. Over the past 30 years in Sarasota, I have invested many hours of community service, working myself into positions of trust and community responsibility, becoming involved in civic and political causes, from immediate neighborhood issues to community issues on Siesta Key, to countywide and state issues. Over the years, I was elected and appointed to numerous boards and committees. And I would like to believe that many of the organizations and boards I was active in benefited from my participation. I believe that most that were associated with me would agree that that was the case. All of that came to an end, commencing with my actions in October of 2012, when I lost sight of the dividing line between right and wrong and crossed it decisively. In a moment, or series of moments, I caused discomfort and anxiety to Lourdes Ramirez, who had done nothing to warrant it. I also caused great harm to myself and many of the same organizations I had worked so hard for over the years. My actions caused embarrassment to the very people I held in the highest regard, and the organizations that had placed their trust in me, putting them in the uncomfortable position of having to explain why I had been trusted in the first place. There was no justification for my actions, none. Partisan politics is a clash of ideals. By its very nature, it is competitive, in some cases combative. In the misplaced enthusiasm of the political process, I confused utilizing existing facts to further or impede a cause or candidate with creating those facts to that same end. Quite a different thing entirely. Politics can be a contentious and sometimes bruising exercise, but it should be truth-based, and it need not be, nor should it be, underhanded. I lost sight of that fact, and I hope my resulting experience will act as a deterrent to others that might think there are no boundaries in politics, when in truth there are limits, and there are rules, and there are consequences for breaking those rules. My ill-advised actions in a few moments of sophomoric hand-rubbing glee have cost me, aside from the great expense of extensive legal representation, my participation in those very governing and advisory boards and committees that I worked so hard and for so many years to become a part of. I have embarrassed myself. I have caused great embarrassment to my family and friends. To all of you impacted my actions, particularly Ms. Ramirez. I apologize.
Thank you. At this time, in case 2012 CF 16855, as to count 1, making an election contribution in the name of another 2 or more times, the court withholds adjudication of guilt pursuant to plea negotiations. You'll be placed on 3 months of community control to be followed by 2 years of probation with the following special terms and conditions: 100 hours of public service work, a $5,000 fine, court costs, cost of investigation in the amount of $2,000. Is that correct? In favor of Sarasota County Sheriff?
That is correct, Your Honor.
You will will waive any right to petition or seal or expunge the criminal history generated as a result of this incident. As to count 2, the harassment by use of personal identification information, you will be adjudicated guilty of that offense. And there will be, because I cannot do a community control, it will just be a time served portion on that. Anything else from the state?
Your Honor may have already announced the cost of prosecution is in the amount of $100.
$100 to the state. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
Just one thing. With regard to the statements that Mr. Waechter made, we began this process almost exactly a year ago. And were it up to Mr. Waechter, he would have made that statement very early on in this. In the course of my representation, he has always been sincere in his remorse. It was my decision, obviously, Your Honor understands why, that he just couldn't speak or make any statements. But those words that you heard are his words, and that's something that he has wanted to say for some time.
All right. Anything else from defense?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you can go over there with the bailiff and he'll take your DNA.